Today is the 20th of May 2009, and we are continuing with our series of interviews with ex-students and ex-teachers of the school. I have a very special guest today, Mr. Michael Whitimore. Now, Michael's family go all the way back to the 8th of February 1909 when his father came to the school in that first intake. Welcome, Michael. Okay, Michael, where did you sort of grow up and what primary school did you go to?
I grew up in Hurstville, in O'Brien's Road, and I'm still there. I might say I haven't shifted far.
No.
I live next door to the ancestral home, I suppose. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
the family went there, I think, in the 1880s or something.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And the school you went to was St Mary's.
St Mary's, Stoke-on-Sea.
At Hurstville.
Yep, Hurstville.
One of our
Charity nuns.
Yep, one of our older schools in the area.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you left St Mary's and you came to Cogger in
51.
1951. Yep.
Fourth class.
In those days, yes, it was fourth class.
We had a 4A and a 4B, and there were just short of 100 boys in 4A.
So yeah, that's a consistent theme we get through all these interviews, and around that 100.
You could be, you could lose yourself. And
Yes.
Brother Campion maybe didn't know I was there until the middle
Oh,
of the
right.
year.
So Brother Campion was your
Yeah.
fourth class teacher,
Yeah.
right? So the principal at the school at that time,
That was Brother Morris.
Brother Morris. Yep.
I think just for the first year I was
And
there.
then Brother Othmar, I think, became the principal.
Probably Othmar after that.
Yeah. Teachers, you've mentioned Brother Campion. Any other teachers you remember?
Oh, well,
One way or the other? Yeah.
well, Brother Swithin, of course, who was the 6th class. He had the bursary class, and apparently I was too wealthy to apply for a bursary, but they had to go on Saturday mornings, I remember that, and he was a very stern man,
Oh, I see.
a good teacher, but...
We could say the word old school these days.
Old school.
Yes.
Suffice it to say that he achieved a lot of bursaries for the boys. So.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Any students? I'm sure you're still in contact with some of them that you went to school with.
Yeah, well, I'm in touch with quite a few, and we've had a few class reunions over the years. Mind you, for about 30 or 40 years, you hadn't seen blokes since you walked out the front gate here.
Yes. Yes.
But I have seen a few since. I don't think we've produced anybody, famous, as it were.
Mm. Everyone at Cogger
And probably
Marist
no one infamous either. So
that's right. Everyone at Cogger Marist is famous in some way. Yes. Yes. Okay. So late 50s, 58. You finished at Cogger in the leaving certificate year.
We used to do the leaving at age 16
Yes.
in those days.
And then after Cogger, off to university.
Yeah, to do law.
And that was at Sydney.
Yeah, Sydney. Yeah.
And did law there.
Which
That
was the only place you could do
in those
law.
days. You could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And is that 3 or 4 year? It was a 3 or 4 year course.
4-year course.
4-year course.
Yeah.
Okay, you come out of Sydney Uni in the early 1960s, and what happens from there?
I went and started practising as a solicitor, and with various firms, a few firms in the city, and then later on I went into partnership out at DY of all places, and I used to commute every day to DY for nearly 20 years. And I'm still doing it. I'm age 67 now, but I'm a sort of a sole practitioner from home these days because I didn't really want to retire.
Sure. Okay, and of course I think your 3 sons came here in the 1990s and into this century.
Yeah, 3 sons, Luke, Daniel and Ben. And they're all doing well. Daniel's just graduated from Sydney Uni, and he got a Bachelor of Education with first class honours. That was only about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, right.
Well, Luke's a customs agent. He's a customs broker, I think.
Oh, right.
He's sort of passed all the exams and so on.
Sure.
Ben's, who was the sportsman of the family, and non-academic, I suppose you'd say. He's in landscaping, horticulture, and that sort of thing.
Right. And before we sort of leave that, we should go back, and of course your father, as we said in the intro, was here on the very first day.
Yes.
That's a very select group.
Yeah.
And you had an uncle that he came a few years later.
Yeah, a couple of years later, Uncle Jack,
Yep.
John B, who became a doctor.
Sure.
Both Dad and Uncle Jack won bursaries up to Joey's,
Yep.
Hunters Hill.
Yep.
And my father, fair dinkum, never stopped talking about Joey's. It must have been a great experience for them, for boys from Cogra to go.
Oh yes,
It's very different. Yeah, yeah. And
He played in my father played in the first cricket team up there.
oh, sure, right.
But academically, I don't know whether he went that well, but he did all right through his life.
Sure. And you had a brother that came here as well?
Yes, my brother Tony,
Right.
Anthony.
It was a few years
A
after.
few years after me.
Yeah.
So I've
So,
had cousins here too, Uncle Fred's boys, John
right.
and Paul, who became a priest, of course. He was a priest for over 30 years, I believe.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So the family's had this, the family and the extended family have had this great relationship with the school
Yeah,
over the best part of 95 years.
that's right. No,
Yeah.
John, of course, I think had a couple of sons here as well. That's
Sure.
my cousin John too.
Sure,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, the Whitimore name pops up all the time when you look at the old documents.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's great. So again, thank you for sort of coming today and just sort of sharing a bit of the
Okay.
Whitimore history with us,
Yes.
and we're very appreciative of your time. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Thank you.